So I don't even know what the fuck this is anymore, really. I mean, I'm in crazy world. I must be in some insane parallel universe because this cannot be real. Guys, this is Fernando. Welcome to the channel. And I was talking with my brother this morning and he said, did you see what happened in the Olympics opening, the inauguration show? I have no idea. Well, there you go. Basically, this is what? It's paganism. You have a satire, naked, painted in blue. This is sacrilege, insulting religious symbols of Christianity. That is, by definition, sacrilege. Why the fuck is this in an Olympic show opening, in the inauguration? Makes no sense. But before we get into all of this, first, I want to mention something. And that's about what has happened to most of us in Argentina with the labeling as racist. It turns out that Argentines, we're all racist. Why? Because of the glory, because 3 World Cups, 2 Copa Americas in a row? No. It's because we sang a song about how African descendants play for France and how many of these guys actually look as if they come from Africa, and many of them actually do, either because of their parents or because they were actually born in Africa themselves and then later got French citizenship, which is all true. And one of the players is in a beautiful romantic relationship with a trans woman. Again, also true. So what is insulting about that? You know what's actually more insulting? This.
Africa won the World Cup. Africa won the World Cup.
Oh, so you can sing that Africa won the World Cup when France wins the World Cup? That's not insulting. That's interesting. That's rich. The people that come from the Comedy Central UK. Okay. That's not racist? Saying that all of these players are Africans? Everyone was cheering, and Trevor Noah, he's African himself. So no one did anything about that. No one complained and asked for an apology, or FIFA, or the government. And by the way, he's a lot more insulting. What Argentines sing is actually all true. What he sings is actually incorrect. No, Africa did not win the World Cup back then. It was France that won it. It's not Africa that won it. All of those players are French. So why is it that they cannot have their own nationality? What, because of the color of their skin? That's racism. Singing that they probably have family that come from there or were born in Africa, and then as the Argentine song says, in your passport it says French. That's true, and that's nothing to be offended about. But hey, double standards. Second, France, specifically Paris. And the show that has no logic or explanation. I mean, why is it that you need a giant-ass table with a bunch of drag people or gays, or I don't even know. I don't want to offend anyone, so let's just call them carbon life forms of some kind. Basically, that's it. But again, a pagan ritual involving sacrilege and the mocking of the Christian faith. Why is that necessary in an Olympic inauguration show? Usually what you do is what the people in China did, like something celebrating your own culture. You show and display your culture to the world. Or maybe you want to be showing the culture of other nations. Okay, but why is it that you feel that it's necessary to mock the largest denomination? I mean, it's the biggest religion on the planet, still very much Christianity. Why is it that you need to insult that and mock that and make fun of that in something that's not linked to it whatsoever? And yeah, I completely agree. You should have the option of making fun of whatever you want. You want to mock this or that? Yeah. But a couple things. First of all, very interesting where you choose to do it in something that is completely unrelated. No relationship with culture, with sports, with nothing like that. Attacking and insulting and offending people just because you can. Second, you're not exactly brave or courageous or strong or none of those things. You're actually going after the religion that you know is not going to be doing anything about it. You're not insulting Islam. I mean, if you're so brave, if you're so strong, if you're mocking traditional values, why is it that you choose to mock one and not the other? Because you know as fucking well as I do, you're not going to be mocking Islam in France right now. They would burn the country to the ground. So it's coward, It is petty, it is miserable, and it's actually very dark, especially all of this sinister display, right? And always, so we have the morbidly obese woman, and they were at times trying to say what's not so. No, morbidly obese woman there in the center, match it in a swimsuit matching what you have there, even the color. But in case it was not subtle enough, they put this on the head, basically saying, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what we do here, okay? Because the evil has no capacity of creating. It can only corrupt. These are the wise words of Tolkien. He said that. He said that evil cannot create. It can only corrupt that which already exists. So they choose to corrupt this. They choose... Why is it that they always have children? Why is it that when we have a naked man wearing women's underwear, you have a child right next to him, specifically next to that area of his? Why is it? Why is that always necessary with them? It's strange, isn't it? It's very weird. It's kind of messed up. And then when you choose to show certain aspects of religion, well, this is the Queen of France. According to Eurosport, the Queen of France is Aya Nakamura. Okay, Nakamura, all right. That's not very French. It's not like Marine Le Pen, right? But it's a traditional... No, it's not a traditional French thing. It's more of an African kind of dance. Again, I cannot play the video because you get that strike from YouTube. And it's weird that you even had like a military formation in front, as in like kind of like surrendering or showing respect to authority. Very weird. Why is it that the French military is waiting in formation in front of them, as in kind of like paying respect? But if all of this is not clear enough for you, if you don't understand still, and you think that, typical survivalist, looking for things that are not there, that sometimes people with their conspiracy theories, they start looking at, that symbol there, there were 3 trees, and 3 trees is combined by 3 more, that would be 6, and if you turn it upside down, that is like 9, all of those. No, it's not subtle. It's not, and it's not one. It's one, and then another, and then another. So when you have this plus this, right? You have this and this and this. Oh, wait a minute. Why is it I have the pale horse there from the Apocalypse riding over the water? Oh, no, it's just your average mechanical skeleton horse riding. Okay. It's weird that you choose a skeleton horse. It's weird that it's pretty white, given that if there's something missing here, is a lot of whiteness. But specifically for this one, you went very white, didn't you? And the horse is basically bones, and there's a guy on top of it with a cape and a fucking hood, and seems to be the only white guy in the entire inauguration. What are you trying to say? Is it the pale horse from the Apocalypse? It's death itself that comes to claim us all? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? They're not being subtle anymore. This is evil. And let me make this perfectly clear. I don't care if you're religious or not. I'm Catholic, like 80% of South Americans, right? Not particularly church-going kind of guy, but follow some of the things that are expected of you. But even if you don't care about religion, let's say you're completely, you're an atheist. Let's go with that. You're an atheist. It still does not matter. Evil still exists in this world. It's not something that's only linked to religious ideas, right? It is, though, linked to religious values, especially from the Christian tradition, the one that is pretty much the foundation of Europe culture, moral values, which they are trying to actively destroy right now. So all of that is not some weird interpretation of 9. No, it's what they're showing you. These people are not free to walk in their cities anymore. France, Paris, I mean, you're being invaded. Instead of being invaded and conquered by an armed military force, you've been invaded and conquered by a bunch of people just showing up and getting the better out of you by just fooling you into thinking that you are obligated into allowing them in by the fucking millions until they conquer you and erase your culture. It's insane. And it's all being promoted, of course, by the left. The left that has this idea of no religion, no family, only the state. These are the pillars of communism. Soviet communism, Chinese communism. There has to be no family. There has to be no sense of belonging, no sense of glory, of belonging, of a national identity that is strong and you cannot mess with. No, you have to be sad, you have to be vulnerable, you have to be weak, you have to question yourself every second. That's how they get you to submit. That's how they basically enslave you. If you don't have those things, you're done. That's what they're doing. It's insane. But again, it's not just about, and if you want to look at this from the Satanic, which by the way, there was elements of that too. They had a Satanic rock band playing. Why? I don't know. Apparently, you cannot have Olympics without some Satanism involved in there, or some sacrilege and pagan fucking rituals. Apparently, we need all of this. Okay, but yeah, and this was interesting. I would love to play this, but they even showed how they make the mechanical horse and how they basically choose to base it on the skeleton of a horse, right? You see the bones. So they specifically want a dead white horse and a hooded rider on top of it. This is no accent. It's not just, oh yeah, don't you have a skeleton robot horse in your garage like everyone? No, these things are not accidental. They're very much planned, carefully so. And it is insane. It's insane the world we're living in. Guys, if you want to prepare for the insane world in which we already are, I strongly suggest you get street survival skills as well as surviving the economic collapse. These two will really help you into being better prepared for the world in which we already live in. And also remember, today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be talking with Matt Bracking. I'd love to see what he has to say about this too. See you next time. Take care.